Else nobody's gonna feel it. Love it. Listen, it's 50 degrees in February. For about a week in NYC is very scary. But I gotta press on. Cruising down to FDR to get my mess on. I've been a stressed one, but who ain't? The news ain't good, feel like it's doomsday. Is it too late? Sometimes I wonder what the moon say. While he looks upon me, knowing as I gaze upon him. The truth is, I feel like everybody's made up of sin. Difference is, the good people know to keep it within. Okay, so when I let a little leak out, trying not to freak out, I don't give a fuck what anybody try and speak out, cause I never bow down.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another week of Crosstown Conflict. It's your boys, Justin Macias, Jared Farah, finally back together. Jared, how was your week? How was everything?
It's good. Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone, for not having an episode last week. I may have had one or two more beers than I should have at a wedding. And it caused my life to go down into a spiral, but I'm back now.
Yeah.
And we're here. Baseball's back. The Mets are still in first place. How are the Yankees doing?
We're climbing there, you know. We're right on the Red Sox tail. We're winning series.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really ask for, you know. You just gotta stay right in there. You stay competitive, and you win the series. You can.
Yeah, the cream's gonna rise to the top.
Of course.
It looks right now the entire AL East is the cream.
Oh, the entire AL East is just beating up on everybody else. I've always said, though, I feel like the Yankee season doesn't really begin to that first Red Sox series. Think about it. We still have 19 more games against the Red Sox.
Jeez.
Like, it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a dogfight.
It's gonna be something to watch. Like, well, what is it? Next month is the first matchup.
Next week.
Next week.
Or no, 2 weeks from now, like the first weekend of June.
Oh yeah, I think the Yankees are red hot. The Red Hot Sox are red hot.
Yeah.
But they're on a collision course to beat the shit out of each other, and it's gonna be great baseball to watch.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk shit to Jose.
Oh, fuck you, Jose. You're not watching this, you asshole. All right, but let's talk about the Mets. I wish I could be upset about the Mets. I wish I could be happy about the Mets, but the Mets are still in first place with 16 of their players, including Cookie Carrasco and Noah Syndergaard, starting from the regular season. 16 players, big league ball players, are injured for the Mets, and somehow we're still in first place. I'm not going to mention it's because the other 4 teams are all under 500. No big deal. We're 3 games over. No big deal. But the New York Mets are the JV Mets right now, and they're squeaking out tough wins.
We're trying to be the 2019 Yankees. They're trying to do the next man up. It's the pitching, too. I feel like your pitching has really stepped up. Stroman, as much as I hate him, he's had really a lot of great outings. Taijuan Walker before that, before he got injured, he was looking really good. Like the Taijuan Walker that I think that everyone thought he was going to be in Seattle. And you just hate to see all these injuries keep happening. And it's like to guys that were also contributing.
Yeah.
Like, and then you see Kevin Pillar gets hit in the face like that. Like, you guys have been great for you guys.
No, Kevin Pillar has been absolutely fantastic. Last time we were with each other, I was talking about how Brandon Nimmo is probably never going to see a spot ever again. But
yeah, yeah, maybe.
Bases loaded, Kevin Pillar takes a 96 mile per hour fastball right to his face.
Right to the nose.
He looks like a raccoon. I got nothing against people. I don't want to say anything offensive 2021. But just know. I don't know how to go about this, but Kevin Pillar is a handsome dude.
Yeah, he is a good-looking guy.
That would usually be followed something from my college days, but I don't know what's acceptable anymore. I don't want to piss any of the 12 people off.
I'm dead.
But he looks like Sloth from the Goonies right now.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
Jesus.
He looks crazy.
Dude, that man went from Prong King to fucking gutter rat. Overnight.
Yeah, he does not look a lick handsome after that.
No.
And it's kind of not. He went from Superman to I don't even know.
To Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, like didn't look good, but it's good to see that he's in good spirits, and hopefully he can get back out there, and hopefully he could continue to contribute for you guys.
Yeah, but we got a lot of young kids playing really good defense. They can't hit for shit, and usually this time of the year I'd be complaining, I'd be upset, but there's really something that feels different about this New York Mets team where I just feel we do have a chance to win.
Yeah.
The bullpen's good. Even with 7 of our opening day starters down, I still feel like the Mets have a chance to win. Like against the Marlins Friday night, I want to say they were winning 3-1. Stupid decision. They pulled Marcus Stroman with 89 pitches.
Yeah, Luis Rojas, he loves doing that.
Yeah.
Like, he loves pulling his pitchers just a little bit too early. And I think, Boone used to love doing that stuff too. Like, he would go right to his good bullpen.
Yeah.
Girardi, the same thing. Like, the moment it got close, all right, let's go to the bullpen. That's it. Let's get our bullpen shut down. It's like, let your guys kind of ride a little bit.
But we had one of the longest games of MLB Friday night, and today, Saturday, pitch against the Marlins. Joey Lucchesi goes 4 innings, sits down 12. He faces the minimum, has his best outing. They pull him in like 43 pitches, which I understand because usually after 4 innings of work, he would start to get rocked.
Yeah.
But after a 13-inning game the night before, wouldn't you want to give your relief pitchers a rest? That's one thing I don't understand. But one thing that they mentioned in the post game that I kind of agree with, they're playing scared right now because 16 of their players are hurt.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to lose anybody else.
No, they're not trying to, if they feel anything, they're trying to get them out of there. They're trying to, and they're also trying to, I feel, win ball games during this. And it's like, if you could have Lucchesi not go back out there and possibly still ride that bullpen a couple more games until you can get to Grom back, which might be a whole reset for you guys. Could be an idea.
Yeah. It'd be nice, but this bullpen's really good, but I feel like they're getting taxed so early.
Yeah.
That's the way the league is moving. It's becoming a bullpen league, but...
Mm-hmm. Like, even Paul O'Neill on the broadcast today was like, a lot of teams are setting up from what the 90s Reds team were, where they were heavily just bullpen, and that's how they won.
Yeah.
But now every team's doing that. Like, that's the...
Yeah, it's a standard.
The outline for it, yeah.
But, I don't know, like... If your pitcher only has 80 pitches or 43 pitches, your starting pitcher, I think you got to let him go.
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman got pulled after a walk. The next batter came in, 2-run home run. The Mets ended up winning the game in the 13th inning, but almost blowing it because their bullpen is tired. But they won. They split with the Marlins. We'll see what they do Sunday night. If you take 2 out of 3 against every division team, I can't be upset about that.
Yeah. I do have one thing to say, though. Those Marlins uniforms are sexy.
Yeah.
They are sexy. I need that hat. That hat is so beautiful, man.
I would never wear it, but it does look good.
No,
it's a fun color. I think they're going to sell a lot of jerseys this year too.
Oh, absolutely.
No Marlins fans, but people who
absolutely
gotta
give credit to my man Jeter. Those unis are fire.
All right, but other than that, in the past 2 weeks, we got swept by the Rays. We swept the Braves to follow that. We beat the shit out of Matt Harvey. And
the Dark Knight returns.
Dark Knight returned to a nice standing ovation and just got the shit kicked out of him.
Oh yeah.
Matt, good luck the rest of the season. We got ours, but I hope you do well the rest of the year. The New York Mets are still in first place. They're staying alive, but it's mostly due because the rest of the NL East is not playing up to their potential.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Phillies kind of haven't been there. I feel like Atlanta's kind of finding it now. Acuna's getting his step, but it's just same,
All right. Well, what's up with the Yankees this week?
The Yankees, we went on that long road trip, and you can't be mad about it. 7 out of 3.
No.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
What you want to do on the road. I think we've now won 7 consecutive series in a row, so we're playing great baseball. You wish our offense hasn't clicked on all cylinders, but today I think we finally figured it out. We went to Texas, started off Garrett Cole, had that kind of shaky start. A lot of his pitches were missing location. His fastball was getting killed. It's a typical blow-up Garrett Cole start. Like, he has these from time to time where it's just almost looking like, can you stop giving up home runs, dude? Like, please?
Yeah.
But, I think it really got capped off by the next day. Tyone was the next day. He went out there. We had probably our best offensive innings, I think, this year. We had 5 runs. None of them came off the home run. All of them came with 2 outs. Every, guys getting hits left and right. Gio Urshela continues to stay hot. That guy's a fucking god. And then the next day you go out there and you get the Corey Kluber no-hitter.
Yeah.
Which to me was something really cool to see. I haven't watched fully that I can remember a no-hitter for the Yankees. The last no-hitter I think I was 4.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's actually kind of surprising sad because like it is one of the most storied franchise.
Yeah.
And since 1999 they haven't done it, which is really kind of surprising. I feel like someone would sneak one in. Messina would have snuck one in.
Maybe
Pettit would have snuck one in. CeCe would have snuck one in. And surprisingly, none of those guys did it. But and it turns out
a guy that's not even ours. Like we just took a 1-year flyer on him. Like it might be one of those stories where it's like, hey, you remember that time Corey Kluber threw a no-hitter for the Yankees? It was like he was on the Yankees.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a nice trivia question in about 10 years.
Right? Unless we win this year, then it's he's
it's cemented in history.
Yeah, but it's a nice moment for Corey Kluber. Happy for the guy. Congratulations, dude. You pitched well. The clue ball is absolutely was working that day. He was throwing it wherever the hell he wanted to. He just looked on and dominant. And props to Higgy too. You got to give props to the catcher. Because also he goes out there the day after Cole gets blown up and Tyone gets blown up, and then you start thinking like maybe I didn't make the right pitch selection.
Yeah.
And he goes out there and catches Kluber's no hitter. So that was really good. And I think the main point this whole weekend and this whole week has been the Yankees starting pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they have 30 innings of shutout baseball right now. Between Kluber, Herman, Montgomery, and Cole, it's been dominant.
This is a big turnaround for Jordan Montgomery. This is the guy who we expected. This is the guy who I predicted would be the number 2 starter by the end of the season for the New York Yankees.
Same.
And this is what you wanted. This is like the little specs you saw when he first come up before injuries. And if he continues to pitch like this, the Yankees are gonna probably win like 106 fucking games.
Yeah, we're gonna steamroll everybody, and it's just like, who do you want to face at that point? Because even Herman, like, people don't want to talk about it. That dude has pitched phenomenal since coming back up. He had those 2 clunkers in the start of the season, came back up, and has just been phenomenal for us and just shutting down games, really collecting a lot of strikeouts, and really just taking command on that mound.
Yeah, like who are the 5 right now? Cole, Herman, like not in any order. Cole, Herman, Kluber, Montgomery, and Tyone.
Yeah.
That's a pretty formidable.
And Tyone's really been the only kind of like head scratcher. Because if you told me at the beginning of the season, out of Kluber and Tyone, who would you think would be the better off? I would have told you Tyone.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just crazy to see this, but also it wasn't out of the realm of things, but also Tyone, I feel like could figure it out. He's shown you glimpses of, hey, I could do this, but at the same time, it's like, we're getting into June now, you got to show something. Because also you got to start thinking too, when Severino comes back, what do you do?
Yeah, who's going to come back? It's looking like Tyone's going to be the one who gets moved to the bullpen or gets DFA'd or something.
Or maybe you go 6-man, but do you really want to do that?
You don't want to. If they continue to pitch like this, you not want to mess with anyone's mojo.
No,
you want them to make their start every 5th day.
Exactly. So that's why you start wondering, you start head scratching. But that's another thing for down the road. Yankees are doing it. My man Gleyber Torres, he looks back. This 2018 Gleyber Torres dude's hitting everything. Yeah. You could throw a pebble up there, he'll probably hit it.
Yeah, that's someone you need to show up every single day.
Yeah, especially with Stanton out. Hicks getting injured. Hicks probably done for the year. Waste of fucking money, man.
Jeez, that 7-year contract is looking horrendous.
I don't think that he's had 1 year where he's been healthy. Even before the contract. Like 1 year where Aaron Hicks just played the full year, or at least given you 150.
It's kind of wild that they locked down a guy who hasn't done it consistently.
I don't think we had anybody else going forward.
Yeah.
Unless we traded for anybody, and he was a solid center fielder. I mean, to find a solid center fielder like him who defensively is good, like, that's hard to find.
Yeah.
It really is, but that's why I also think maybe Brett Gardner was always the answer, because now he's getting his regular reps in center. He's getting hits.
He's getting
hits, man.
That man is dinging the
I think
damn
he had
ball.
2 hits today.
Yeah.
Like, you got to give the man credit. Got to give the man credit.
The Yankees have been on an absolute tear. I think I heard on the radio since April 21st, they're 18-8.
Yeah.
So whatever fear you had when the season started, the first 20 games, I think that's completely gone.
I think through April 8th we have the best record in MLB.
Since April 8th?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
shit.
It's nothing to scoff at.
No. that's been almost like 2 months of just doing it. So you take it. Yankees keep winning. I think we're on a five in a row, and we won 5 straight now.
Huge.
We had the big game on Friday, which that was a crazy game, man. Went from a lot of strikeouts to some wildness at the end. But we'll get into that all later. What we got next?
All right, so speaking of going off from let's transition to all of MLB. Leading off of Kluber's no-hitter, we've had 7 no-hitters so far this season.
Yeah.
Is this something fun to watch? I know guys like us, if we could sit down and watch a no-hitter, because we're watching pitch. But do you think the everyday person's going to enjoy a no-hitter?
No. I mean, no-hitters are boring. Honestly. Like, you go to a ballpark, and let's say you bring your girlfriend, and it's like, this game's boring. Like, nobody's gotten a hit. It's like, yeah. That's kind of like the thing.
You're looking at her like I'm having the best day of my fucking life.
I'm enjoying this. Like, this is like ice in my veins. But like, to the average person, it's not fun.
No.
And also, it's not fun even to a regular baseball fan like myself, where I feel like every day I'm getting a notification.
Yeah.
Yo, this guy's got no hitter through 6, and I'm like,
yeah,
dude, like what? Like that was just happened yesterday.
It's losing its luster a little bit.
Yeah.
It's only May. We've seen 6: Joe Musgrove, Carlos Rodon, John Means, the man I called trash in our very first episode. I'm sorry, John Means. Wade Miley, Spencer Turnbull, Corey Kluber for the Yankees, and Madison Bumgarner in a 7-game split.
I still think that counts.
Yeah,
I mean what more did he have?
They gave him 7 innings. He gave you 7 innings of no-hit baseball.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. Like, I would accept it with an asterisk.
I get the optics. Yeah, I get the optics.
Like, parentheses 7.
Yeah.
It should be in the books as a no-hitter. But that's 7 within 6 weeks of baseball?
Yeah, 2 months. Not even.
We're averaging a no-hitter a week right now.
This is, I think, we are one more away from the most in a single season.
Gee,
or we're tied already. Like, that's crazy. In a single season, we reached it in the matter of 2 months. And it also ties into how there have been 3 teams that have been no-hit twice.
Yeah.
You have the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Indians. And it's just appalling that you could have teams like this that just don't hit. Nobody makes contact. Nobody tries to get on base, disrupt anything. Nobody tries to do anything different from, to try to get the pitcher off their balance a little bit. And it's almost like you kind of let it happen.
Yeah, and that leads me to like wanting more hits in baseball, and it leads me. Before we started the show, I was trying to figure out the topic someone brought up to me.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the shift in baseball?
Oh, it's awful. It's got to go.
The shift has got to go. I think
gotta go.
It'd be so much more exciting. You need to have 2 guys and 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. And it allows. I feel like the shift takes away from a lot of these guys' athletics ability. Yeah. Like, imagine you take away that like diving play into the hole, coming out fired. Like, you take like Francisco Lindor and Tim, like all these shortstops, they're proponents of that, where it's like you're taking them away from being able to cover ground and have that skill that like got them to the majors almost.
Yeah. It's just like even if you give them this much more room, you're gonna get a little more contact, and it's gonna keep the game fun. Mm-hmm. It's gonna keep the game moving. You want to see people on base. Just it's so exciting. I forgot I was watching a clip came out on Twitter from the '80s. Just it was Deion Sanders and I forgot who the catcher was, but the crowd was going nuts because they were picking him off. He was stealing.
Yeah.
The whole place was going wild just watching someone steal base. No one steals bases anymore because no one's on base anymore.
It's like getting guys on base, having traffic, playing that little bit of small ball game. It makes it's what baseball is. And I would be even fine if you want to move the second baseman over more because he's a pull guy.
Yeah.
So you bring him over a little bit more to cover more ground that way. But to have 4 or 5 guys over on that side, or if you're the Rays, have 4 guys in the outfield.
Yeah.
It's like what? Like, come on, man. Like you're just taking the fun out of the game, and you're taking all the excitement out of the game. I mean, there's nothing better than when you see Jim Edmonds running down a ball that he had no chance of getting down. Had no chance of being caught.
And like I feel like we don't see plays like that anymore because I feel like people
Exactly.
don't know how to play baseball. Like
Exactly.
no one understands. I can't speak for it because I can't hit for shit. I didn't play baseball since fucking eighth grade. But situational hitting doesn't happen anymore. How many guys do you see stranded on third base because no one wants to pop one up into the air?
Yeah, and like you like just with the Yankees like on that Friday game, I think we left 3-4 guys at third just because we can't get the pop fly out there with one out too. Can't get the fly ball out there. You can't just shoot the ball into the gap, and it's just like it takes away from people, and it really took away a lot from. The shift took away a lot from all these older guys. David Ortiz, Mark Teixeira. Like, I just feel like they just became almost what the game is now, and that's home run or bust guys.
Home run or bust. And that's no good. I think getting rid of the shift would be more beneficial to the game than having the man on second or the
7-inning doubleheaders.
Yeah. I don't mind the 7-inning doubleheaders. But
I don't either.
Because it's sometimes.
Sometimes 18 innings is a lot of baseball.
It's a long baseball.
It's a lot of baseball, and that second game, you're almost like, who the hell are these guys?
Yeah, like you're drained. But the man on second, I'm slowly starting to agree. Like it's been mostly beneficial for the Mets, but it's fucking stupid. You could lose a game without giving up a hit.
It's unentertaining baseball. Once you get I almost don't even look forward to the extra innings now because I'm just like it's so now I'm just watching some nonsense.
Yeah.
Like I'm just watching a slugfest to try to see who can score the most.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see 10th inning, 11th inning, it's like 2 runs, 3 runs, 2 runs, and it's just like
the Mets went into extra innings last night, 3-3, and the game ended 6-5.
Yeah, and it's like why? Like I like the games where it's just like you see how strategical it was by the score.
Yeah.
You know, if a game ends 4-3, you're like, wow, that was a close game. Sometimes you see a game end 11-9, and it's like, wow, that must have been a blowout. And it'd be 16 strikeouts through 7, and then all of a sudden they don't score 8 runs until the last few innings. And it's ruining baseball. It's making diehard fans like me lose total interest in the game almost because I'm just like, I'm not watching the game I grew up to love and I grew up enjoying and I fell in love with. So I feel like Rob Manfred's trying to appease for these people that don't love the game, appease to the people that love the game. Because we're the ones that help grow it. We're the ones that advocate for it. And right now, I can't advocate for it at all because I think baseball is boring this way.
Baseball kind of fucking stinks. I try to talk to my friends. Like a lot of friends of mine, they're like, I listen to your stuff sometimes. I put on clips of it, but I'm just not into baseball. Yeah. And I just sit there and I go like, yeah, dude, baseball fucking stinks.
Yeah, I mean it's home run strikeout. It's not fun baseball watching strikeouts. Yeah. I'm sorry. Bring back the juice balls. I think baseball was on kind of an uprise in 2019. I felt like
that was a great year.
It was a great year, 2018, 2019. I was enjoying baseball every day because it was games were ending 7-6, 7-8, but
Brett Gardner's hitting 30
home
runs.
Brett Gardner's hitting 30 home runs, but hey, that was fun to watch. But I'm watching Brett Gardner hit grand slams off the Red Sox to give us the lead. I'm like, yes, I love this. It's so much better, but then it emphasizes how great pitchers were. Yeah. It made you really emphasize how good Garrett Cole was, how good Jacob deGrom was, because in a time where the balls were juiced, these guys were putting sub-2 ERAs up, and it's just that's insane. But now you got guys like John Means, Spencer Turnbull, like Carlos Rodon, all these guys have sub-1 ERAs and are pitching no-hitters. All right, that's nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares to watch that.
It's rough going. I wouldn't be surprised in 50 years if baseball just didn't exist anymore. Yeah. Because with people are cutting their cords, those television contracts aren't going to be there in 10 years.
Baseball lost a lot of them. I think Baltimore got rid of Masson and Gary Cohn. Gary Thorne. Gary Thorne's one of the best announcers in the game, and they just got rid of him. And it's why?
It's nuts. It's really nuts. I don't know what to do anymore. That they won't listen to us. They won't listen to anyone.
No, Rob Manfred does what he wants, and it's kind of fucked. You're reaching Goodell like territory with Manfred now. Like,
look, yeah, man, but I'm still watching football every Sunday.
Exactly.
That's one thing. When I was younger, I could watch every single game. I could watch the Padres and the Braves play.
Mm-hmm.
I could watch the Marlins and the Cubs play. Anyone's on. I'll watch the Mets, and I'll throw the Yankees on if the Mets aren't playing. But outside of that, I'm not gonna watch any game. I'm not gonna watch Sunday night baseball.
Baseball has really become a regional sport.
Yeah.
And that's where we're headed now. If you're not from the area, you're not following it.
Yeah. Thanks.
But on to our next topic. Unwritten rules of baseball.
Yes.
And
you explain what happened.
all right. So for those non-baseball fans that kind of don't watch every day, the White Sox were beating the hell out of the Twins. I think they were up by 11 runs.
Yeah.
The Twins had a position player, Williams Astudillo. He's a catcher.
La Tortuga.
Yeah, La Tortuga, the big guy, and then you had young rookie phenom coming out right now for the White Sox. Your mean Mercedes, been my fantasy darling. He actually did get me the points with these, but 3-0 count from Astudillo. He throws a cookie. I think it was like 46 miles an hour, and Mercedes just takes it deep. Like he just launched it, and honestly, to me, it's impressive.
Yeah.
You turned around a ball that has no speed to it and sent it almost that far. Like, that shows how strong you are.
The thing is, when a batter has a 3-0 pitch, normally you're not going to swing on it because you're thinking you're going to get walked. And especially when you're up by a lot, it's kind of like you're showing up the other team.
Yeah, and a 3-0 pitch is supposed to be like a get-me-over pitch. It's supposed to be like, all right, let me get a strike, try to get back into this count. But he takes it deep, and it breaks that unwritten rule of don't show up your opponent. Which I understand. I would kind of be mad too, but at the same time, this guy's also trying to bid for a contract. Like that, that could be part of that he takes that to the arbitration table. He's getting paid for that.
Yeah, they're not going to know what the situation was. They're just going to see on a piece of paper that it was a home run.
Exactly.
And you're Mercedes. He's not a spring chicken either.
He's older too. I think he's
27.
No, I think he's almost in his 30s.
Jesus, this man is a rookie. He's been working his entire life to get to the MLB, and he's almost 30 years old.
I think he's actually 32.
This man is a rookie, and he's old. He's baseball old. He's going to do everything he can to stay there. Mm-hmm. I'm sure a lot of people told him he'll never make it, give up, but he's in the show, and he's blowing people out of the water.
Yeah.
He's probably going to take every 3-0 pitch.
Yeah, he's going to take every opportunity he can, and I don't even care if your manager, Tony Lewis, says, give me a take sign. I'm sorry. If you guys have a position player up there, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Pitch better. Play better.
Yeah.
Don't have it be an 11-game blowout. Yeah. Actually pitch better. The bells are dead, and why are you letting that up?
I think that's a big factor of it too. If it's one thing if it's the pitcher giving you a 3-0 pitch, but you got a position player throwing meatballs down the middle. What the fuck do you expect's gonna happen?
Yeah. Like if I see a 40, when I play I face 60. If I see 45 down the cock, I'm gonna fucking swing. Like pretty much, I'm gonna swing.
And I think the biggest fuss about this whole situation was the White Sox are probably the youngest, probably like one of the most fun teams to watch outside of our own respective teams.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of young studs, a lot of people coming in there. Their studs go down and more guys come out of nowhere to fill in their shoes and just be good.
Too, like Tim Anderson.
Yeah.
Fun guy to
these
watch.
guys have swag. Like they're having fun playing baseball.
Jose Abreu's hitting home runs. His 3 chains are fucking thicker than my neck.
Bro, and they're making the game fun. But the White Sox hire Tony La Russa. Yes, World Series coach, World Series
Hall of Famer.
But this man is 74 years old.
Yeah.
What an awful hire. And Tony La Russa, after the home run, he said, I'm going to have a talk with him. I didn't like what he did.
Yeah.
And then what happened the next day?
and then the next day, the Twins throw at him, and everybody is trying. I feel like everybody's trying to say that, well, Tony La Russa's old, but Rocco Baldelli threw at him, and he's a young guy. But I feel like the Twins weren't even really that upset.
Yeah.
Until Tony La Russa said something, and then they're probably watching that like, oh yeah, we should be upset about that. Let's throw it at him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And because I feel like everybody's been understanding the rules.
Yeah.
Ever since the Tatis incident, I feel like everybody's understood. If you're up there pitching, I'm up there swinging.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste one of my at bats because you guys gave up 11 runs. That's not my fault.
These players know what the deal is right now with fans watching.
Mm-hmm.
No, the crowds are full right now, like at max capacity, because people just need something to do. People have been stuck home all year. They're gonna come out.
Something fun to go.
This is not gonna be the thing next year because everyone got their fill of going to the baseball game.
Yeah.
Everyone even though we locked in for a year, people are like, oh, we're not gonna take things for granted again, but people are gonna stop caring sooner or later about baseball.
No, exactly.
And just things like that are going to keep the game fun. Like, imagine you're a kid, you see this guy get taken deep.
Yeah.
You're a fan of the game, and you say, wow, they scored 12 runs. That's my first game ever. That was awesome.
Honestly, when I first saw it, I saw the highlight, and I was laughing, because I was like, wow. He just took Astrodillo. I was like, thick on thick crime.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about the count. I didn't even look at the count. I was like, that was a pretty cool moment. Because then you have moments, too, where it's like, you had Anthony Rizzo pitching against Freddie Freeman. Anthony Rizzo struck out Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Is he not supposed to do that?
I think Freeman was 4 for 4 before that. So.
Yeah, is he not supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Just because he's 4 for 4, he's supposed to let him get a hit? No.
Yeah.
He's there to strike him out. And you know what? Astrodillo should have been there to strike your Mercedes out. You're not trying to end the game. If you were to end the game, call a fucking mercy rule.
Yeah.
Let's get a mercy rule in this. Come on. You're there to play 9 innings. You know what you signed up for. Throw a pitcher out there.
Yeah.
Playing his day.
Yeah. If you want to win the game, try to win the game. If you have a position player out on the mound, you're not trying to win the game. You know you lost.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get your medicine for it.
Just shut up. You lost.
All right. But about Yerman Mercedes being a 28-year-old, there was a bunch of 19, 20-year-olds in high A baseball, high single A baseball, who got absolutely shelled by the best of the best.
Yo, please, someone. I don't know how you let that man Jacob deGrom murder those young kids.
Gee, it was like Anakin Skywalker with a young man.
Yeah, he's like, what do we do now, Master Anakin?
Yeah.
And he just 102 right by you.
Yeah. Jacob deGrom was having a rehab start with the Port St. Lucie Mets, their A-ball team, and they went up against the Cardinals single A team. He faced 9 batters, struck out 8 of them. But do you think if you're a 20-year-old kid, you're like, all right, you're just getting your feet wet, you're a professional baseball player.
Some of these kids are drafted out of high school, bro.
Yeah. Jacob deGrom was playing. Some were teenagers. What do? You're like, all right, this is the best player. Let me see where I stand up against him. And you just get whiffed on 3 pitches. How are you feeling the next day?
Oh, I feel like absolute shit.
Yeah,
you're just like, god damn. Even after that, because I didn't watch the footage, but I could imagine you just got dismantled by the best.
Yeah.
And you just made pretty much that's not bad that you think of when you're in high school and you're just like, maybe this game isn't for me.
Yeah, that's probably a lot of guys walk the next game like, maybe I can't do this.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm just not ready for the bigs at all. Especially to a high schooler, a young kid, he's gonna get it. That's intimidating stuff. When he's throwing, he threw 102.
Jeez.
In a 90-mile-an-hour slider,
on a dime. It was. I don't know if you saw. They only put up 1 pitch for 1 strikeout pitch. I don't know. I guess maybe they didn't have the footage because it was single A, or they didn't want to show the footage because it was slaughtering.
I mean, I think you have to put
his 102 pitch for a strikeout. The catcher did not move an inch. He placed it right in the corner of the strike zone. Right there. Yeah. The guy went down looking because he didn't know what to do. He was painting corners on kids.
I do want to know how many of them went down looking and how many of them went down swinging.
That's probably sad we could find, but I don't know. But Jacob deGrom slaughtering kids. The man is ready. It doesn't matter if it's kids, if it's big leaders.
Yeah.
That's what he does. So at least I know he got through those innings pitched. I'm hoping he's back against the Rockies this week.
And he also catches.
He plays shortstop.
His home runs off Chris Sale.
Makes web gems. The man's the real deal. He could probably be a slot receiver in the NFL.
Next to Ohtani, he's the best two-way player.
Jeez. Yeah. It's far and in between. Showtime Shohei Ohtani, he's looking fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It took a couple years to get there, but he adjusted to the game. He didn't adjust as fast as Ichiro, but
I feel like that has to be a conversation too. What would you take if you had to choose between the two of Ohtani? Would you take him pitching full time or him being in that lineup? Like, would you take him giving you maybe 200 innings, or would you want him hitting 40 bombs?
I think I want him hitting 40 bombs.
Yeah.
I think I want him in the field every day.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I've always said, I just think his pitching doesn't hold up as well as it should.
Yeah.
Like he has the stuff there, but then you see his stat line sometimes. It's like 5 innings, 3 runs.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not the best.
No.
And
it's quality baseball for a back end starter.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is. But to try to be, especially for the Angels, that prime time starter and also be their prime time hitter now without Mike Trout, you're putting a lot on him. And I hate to say it, and I love the success he's having. I think he's on a crash course to get injured again.
I hope not.
I hope not either. But I severely hope not. But when you're putting that much pressure on somebody like that, it's a lot, man. And they have him going. It's like high school ball.
Yeah.
Hey, you're done pitching? Go out to right field. We still need you in the lineup, man. Like, come on.
Does he bat when he pitches? Or
yes.
Is he like the DH and the pitcher?
Yes.
Because I know the American League. How does that work?
He's the DH. So they just do the National League. Where
they just don't DH him?
Yeah, they just have no DH and it's just him.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, so they have like a National League lineup, but it's Shohei. I think he was leading off and pitching and starting pitching. Jesus,
dude, that's like playing the best player in Little League.
Yeah, it's like when you play that D1 recruit from like in high school, and it's like, oh, this kid's their best center fielder, and he also throws 89, and guess what? He can slide over to short if they need him to it.
And he's 100%.
And he's batting third.
100% Dominican.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, okay, bro. It's like, we know you're getting drafted, right?
You're alright. Like, you have 6 armbands, bro. We know you're good. Alright, talk about Shohei. Going over the past week, everything in baseball. Pitching's too much right now. We need juice baseballs. But outside of that, who's your go to the week?
My go to the week goes to the Yankees shortstop, Gleyber Torres. That is my shortstop. Ever since coming back from COVID, have been on, man. And your swing, like his swings look a lot better. He's not trying to go for the downs anymore. He's putting the ball in play, and he looks like that 2018 Gleyber that makes contact with almost everything. He's serving it up to right field, serving it up to left field, hitting short perchers. You know, it's just he's hitting everything, and it's just what you want. He had himself a day today. I think he went 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Filling up the stat sheet, had two hits yesterday that were huge. One was a home run and one was a walk-off single. Dude won us the game yesterday. So guy's been on. Right behind him too is Aaron Judge, but Gleyber Torres just having himself a week.
Yeah, Gleyber Torres is looking like the guy you all thought he was. He was slumping heavy.
Yeah.
That man was receiving a lot of hate, but he's turning it around this year.
I think he was just too heavy into the home runs. Like, he just wanted... Seeing that a big fat 0 in the home run column a couple years after you hit 34 home runs and you could do it, you start getting into your head a little bit more. Yeah. But now, like I said, you start seeing that better swing come out of him, and just trust your bat. You know you can hit him. And
he's going to do it. He's going to do it. This Yankee team is really turning into a scary team, especially when Gleyber Torres, Judge, and the entire pitching staff is just looking well. Mm-hmm. But you beat up on some bad teams this week. Let's see if you could be the go of the week next week after playing the Red Sox.
I mean, hey, Don't knock Chicago, man. He did those both against
Yeah,
Chicago.
they beat the shit out of
and that's the best team in the AL.
Beat the shit out of a first place team.
So don't knock that yet, man. We really look good this Chicago series, and let's see what tomorrow brings. But who's your go to the week? I kind of peeped it, but
my go to the week is by default because I kind of don't know half of the roster right now. Tomas Nido.
I thought you were gonna say Pat Mazekis.
Pat Mazika is already a Mets legend with 1 hit and like 3 RBIs.
Is he getting a statue right next to Tom Severs?
Honestly, it'll probably be a shorter amount of time. It took them 60 years to give Seaver a statue. Mazika's gonna have it by the end of the year.
Mazika might get it by 5.
Yeah. But Tomas Nido, he's had a lot of clutch hits, some big home runs after a few years of not being able to hit shit. He's finally come together. He was told he was gonna be the backup, and virtually he's taken the job from James McCann, who has not been performing at the bat.
No, that's been an upsetting.
But he's been catching games better too. He's been protecting the plate, doing everything, and he's looking like a veteran for all these young guys right now, showing persistence, showing up every day, and it's gonna come around. He was brought up to be a hitter. It hasn't happened in 4 years, but he's starting to show his stuff. Tomas Nido, I hope he take the job from McCann and continue producing throughout the year. It's good because it's now like no matter what, whoever the backup is, whoever the starter is, we're gonna have a quality guy after being a big question mark since like Paul LaDuca, the liar Paul LaDuca.
Jesus.
But Tomas Nido, go to the week. You earned it. You kind of earned it.
Kinda, yeah.
It took 16 guys to get hurt for you to earn it. I don't.
Hey, you know what? Class for earning it, man.
Yes.
It's one thing to get it, but you gotta get it. So you got it.
Congratulations, man. Your plaque will be in the mail next week.
Enjoy. I hope that goes right next to your MVP. You might win.
Maybe. You might be the team MVP right now.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. All right, who's your trash of the week?
Jameson Taillon.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not one I really want to give him, but just hasn't been looking good. I think he's only been giving us like 5 innings. Gives up almost 4 or 5 runs each time. His stuff is there. The fastball is there. The curveball is the curveball breaks nicely. It's just I feel like he's just not hitting his spots. He's leaving fastballs that he should be keeping up in the zone right in the middle, and he's just getting killed on. So, you're my trash of the league. Please show me back up, Taillon. I really have high hopes for you. I understand you're coming back from a lot, so we'll give you that time. But the turnaround has to come at some point, or else it's not going to keep working.
Yeah. Is there a timetable for Severino to come back yet?
They said he's gonna start rehabbing. I think next week.
Okay, so
he's. I think they said by mid-June, possibly July.
All right.
You're maybe looking. I know they don't want to rush him, so that you might be looking after the All-Star break, just to try to get his feet wet.
So Taillon's probably got maybe 4 or 5 starts to show something to keep his job.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, him out of the bullpen might not even be the worst option.
No. Shit. Alright, that's not even the worst trash of the week to have.
No, it's not.
Who's my guy? I couldn't decide on a trash of the week, because let's just say I couldn't even write one down. Trash of the week. I don't think I have them this week.
Could go with the obvious.
Which one?
Tony La Russa.
Tony La Russa, you absolute piece of shit. You're the trash of the week. First of all, you say you have a problem with your player hitting a fucking bomb in a blowout. The Twins gave up. When you put a pitcher on the mound, you gave up. After the game, you said you had a problem with the way he went about it and you're going to have a talk with him. The next day, the Twins throw at your guy, your player, the guys you're supposed to be protecting, these young guys you were brought in as a 74-year-old man to watch after. You said you had no problem with another team throwing at your guy.
I remember Joe Girardi would have lost his head if anybody threw at his guys. That's what you want from a manager, and then you're just not stepping up from him. Dude, you know how old Tony La Russa is? This dude, nobody was even born yet.
Yeah.
When he managed his first game for the White Sox.
That's insane.
Dude, that's like Rich Hill is 41, and he was not even. I think he was like another 3 years away from being born.
He's an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Much respect to what he's done for the game of baseball, but he's out of touch with the youngest, swaggiest team in the league. This is a hope to get people to watch the game. There's fucking young black guys, young white guys, young Spanish guys on that team being really good, fun baseball players, and he bringing a 74-year-old man to manage.
Like,
Tony La Russa, you're the trash of the week.
You're trash. Like, I remember when the White Sox kind of were bad, but they were winning some games. They were fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
You know, they were really, like, they were having a good time. I didn't see that this weekend.
No.
This weekend, I've seen none of that. Like, it just doesn't look the same, and like Jared said, you're trash on La Russa. You had a great managerial career. Albert Pujols probably thanks you for that ring you got him.
Yeah.
But outside of that, stick to managing Jose Canseco.
Yeah. Jeez. All right. You got any final words for this episode of Crosstown Conflict, Justin?
That's about it, guys. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mets.
You know, let's get going. Let's beat
Let's
Boston.
We beat Boston. Mets got a nice homestand.
Yeah.
Let's keep winning. Honestly, it seems like all we have to do is stay 500 and we'll finish first place.
Yeah.
Because it seems like everyone in the NL East is going to be about a 500.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a 5-team race to win 89 games.
Like I said, it's like the NFC East.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like who could not lose the most amount of games?
Who wants it slightly more than the other teams? All right.
All right, guys.
Crosstown Conflict.
Another week.
We'll
I hope
be
you guys
live.
enjoyed. You got a noise?
If you hear this, send me that. You'll let you know. You'll win something. You'll get a blank envelope in the mail.
Please follow us.
All right. Thank you guys.
Later,
Crosstown
guys.
Conflict.
Oh yeah. Turn that AC on.